Thank you, Christy. Those boarded up homes are more than an eyesore. They're a sign that even the best laid plans can go awry. The Ambassador Bridge Company purchased hundreds of properties in Detroit and Windsor in anticipation of their proposed twin span. But broken commitments by several parties have resulted in broken neighborhoods.
Since 1999, we've been buying property. Since 1999, we enlarged the plaza in Detroit, enlarged the plaza in Windsor.
All in anticipation of a highway-to-highway connection to not only the Ambassador Bridge, but also its twin. And now, more than 100 homes bought by the bridge sit vacant and boarded up in Windsor. The city won't let the bridge tear them down. And stateside, an entire neighborhood has been bought and paved over.
This was a whole neighborhood. I mean, this was Lafayette. They were surprised, as many of us were, to see a company just upright take a city street.
The Lafayette Bait and Tackle Shop sits proudly on an otherwise vacant road, a mark of defiance against the bridge company and its plans for expansion. It's a movement that continues several blocks away.
There's tons of kids around here. There's nobody here no more.
Pratt's Detroit home used to be surrounded by families until the Maroon family bought much of the land and raised it.
I don't think one person should have the say-so of the whole community, which that's what he's doing. He's buying people off.
Earlier this month, the Maroons bought the Bait and Tackle Shop along with several other pieces of land. But obstacles remain, specifically a dispute over whether the environmental assessment is complete.
Right now, as far as I know, they're not doing any work on it.
But didn't Dan Stamper, the president of the Ambassador Bridge Company, send you a letter on November 2nd asking for an update on the status of their application?
Well, there's always an exchange of letters, or frequently an exchange of letters with the folks from the Ambassador Bridge. But what we know, or what I know at least, is that the last exchange of letters that I saw was an exchange. For example, we have legislation here in Canada. There's an exchange of letters on any crossings or changes to the crossings on these international bridges needs the permission of the Parliament or the Government of Canada. We have legislation in place. We are asking the people from the Ambassador Bridge to show just cause why they shouldn't be subject to that.
It's part of their plan, right? Delay the enhancement project, the second span of the Ambassador Bridge, so that they can move forward on the DRIC.
The Detroit River International Crossing is a competing $5 billion public crossing with support from the province, Canadian government, and several special interest groups. But is there sufficient border traffic to justify a new crossing? DRIC supporters claim there is, but the hard numbers show otherwise. Since 2000, the number of trucks and cars crossing the Ambassador Bridge has dropped in half, a 50% decline. Now, DRIC supporters claim those numbers are expected to increase, but documents obtained by A-News suggest those claims are less than genuine. This 2006 memo to Canada's finance minister says that delays at the border were mainly the result of inadequate customs staffing levels, not inadequate capacity or too much traffic. While this 2008 document suggests the government knew the traffic numbers were pumped up because the traffic numbers just aren't there otherwise. Nevertheless, Canada is committed to the new crossing.
The best thing is to have two bridges, get them both up and going, and then that's best for both economies on both sides of the border.
We would be out of business. They're contemplating almost no roads to us. Well, it is a monopoly game for the government.
And the Maroons are still waiting to pass go. Tomorrow, we look at the Windsor-Essex Parkway, the biggest infrastructure project in Ontario and the feeder route for DRIC. We'll examine what will happen to that freeway and the Ambassador Bridge's twin span if Michigan does not support DRIC.